Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Agnes. On this channel, we make videos about productivity, data science, life in tech, habit building, and all sorts of things. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my task management system. I mainly use two tools. First one is Notion, which does majority of my task management, and Google Keep. I use these two in a combination. So I started implementing task management systems and things like that. I think during my bachelor's, I came to this research from the thought that from a brain dumping or a to-do list, which is extremely long, I'm not able to manage everything. That's where my curiosity to improve my system came from. I started writing down my tasks on this pocket notebook when I was like 15 because one of our teachers introduced it to us. She encouraged us to do it. Then I realized it's so easy to, burn down everything on a piece of paper rather than like trying to store everything in your brain. It's so much more effective and so much more efficient and low stress. So I was already doing that, but eventually I realized, as you grow up, there are different areas of life that you have to take care of. You have to just do the admin things which has to be done, filing taxes, cleaning your house, grocery shopping, things like that, plus your work or your studies. There are different areas of life that come into play as you grow up. And I quickly realized this is not going to cut it. I want a system to organize everything. And I found out this book called Getting Things Done. It discussed different ways to like sort your tasks based on your location, based on your priority, based on, your energy level, things like that. That was my first learning about task management system. Then I tried a lot of tools over the years. There was a tool by Microsoft which was inbuilt in your Windows laptop, Google Calendar. It's a really good. Google Calendar is really good to manage your tasks. I'll get to that later, why calendar doesn't work for me that much. Also, I tried a Todoist. I think I tried a lot of tools, but I couldn't find one that could do everything, like catch all my tasks, label them, and sort them. It couldn't do things like that, and it got really difficult to manage the system itself, and I would just stop doing that system. I've tried so many habit trackers, so many to-do list managing apps, so much. And during the pandemic, I think Notion became very popular among YouTubers and creative people. And we were all binging YouTube, and I came across this tool called Notion. I went to their website and tried it out, and I love Notion's design. It's very minimal, it's very thoughtful. I love that kind of design, very minimal with little bit of color, things like that. And I just started taking notes on Notion. Even though there's like a search option, notes grew like in proportion, and I couldn't keep track of where everything was, where my notes was. At that time, I didn't know how to use the database feature. It's basically like an Excel sheet embedded in Notion. You can do a lot of things that we do in Excel in Notion databases. It's amazing and very powerful. So in Notion, you can do everything. Like you can do checklists, you can do like databases, you can upload files. Note taking is so smooth. I've been using Notion for years at this. Not recently, I think it's been like a year or so. I was already familiar with the para system, which was introduced by Tiago Forte in his book. I'll show the book here. And I got really interested in Notion, and I got what I was searching for. Even though you have to build it from scratch and you have all the freedom to customize it. That's the beauty of it. If you want to learn how to be an advanced user of Notion, check out the channel Thomas Frank Explains. And he's a productivity YouTuber, study tube, all those kind of things, habit building, personal development YouTuber. And he has a second channel called Thomas Frank Explains, where he explains all the features of Notion very well. So my system's root comes from one of his videos. I implemented his videos after going through like all the steps. I implemented a similar system, then I tweak the system based on my priorities and my needs. So that's what I did. So fundamentally, my this idea came from one of his videos. I'll link the specific video in the description. Have a second brain system, and the root video, the root idea came from a second brain video did by Elizabeth Phillips. In order to like understand how Notion works, these three people introduced me to Notion. I think Ali Abdal introduced me to Notion. He's like one of the biggest productivity YouTubers on YouTube. He has like 5 million followers or something. And he has done some videos on Notion in the past. Also, he has a course on Skillshare, how to create workflows and everything. It's very basic. But Thomas Frank's channel is a little bit more advanced concept, but it's really good. Also, you can, with extensions and widgets and stuff, you can customize your Notion template, which I don't really. Also, on Notion itself, you can buy or use the templates that others have provided. I don't have a template yet, but I'm planning to like learn my task management system template that anybody can use. If that's available when you watch this video, it will be in the description. So let's get started with the system. One more thing, I'm not going to share each and every step of building the template in this video. It's impossible because I'm planning for like a 15-minute video. After that though, at some point we'll do that. It will be like a tutorial. This video's aim is to make you familiar with what you can do in Notion and how I use my Google Keep. So when it comes to Google Keep, I mostly use it for lists, to maintain my list. For example, I've been doing this for a while, but I've recently, like not recently, a few years ago, I watched a video about this on Matt Diavola's channel about maintaining this list for different occasions. For example, I have a list for like, the things that I should pack when I go on like a 2-3 day trip, and I have another list for like things that I should pack for like a 1 to 2 week trip. So whenever for example, tomorrow I'm going to visit my parents, and in the morning I'm just going to go through the list, pack everything. I don't have to think about what I should pack. This reduces a lot of forgetfulness, stress, stuff like that. That's one big benefit. I also have like a shopping list. I have a wish list. When I want something that I see online, I just put it in a wish list rather than buying it then and there. I made that mistake, and I realized after a while you'll lose interest in that thing. If I still want to buy that after like 3 to 6 months, I'm going to buy it. Otherwise, after a while I'll just remove it. So I maintain wish list, grocery lists, and you can share it with other people, and you can pin it to like your phones. I'm shooting on my phone, but I'll show this somehow. You can pin it on your home screen, and it's so convenient to maintain lists. It takes a lot of pressure off you, and so that you can focus on things that you love, your creative work, your knowledge work, your learnings. Now I will show how I maintain my Notion book on my system. So this is Notion dashboard. I am going to show my process. Just, this is my original dashboard that I use. You can favorite the pages that you access the most here. If you want to know, it's basically a collection of pages, but you can work with it because there's an underlying database and everything. The fundamental of all this is these 6 pages. I call them databases. On this one, we have like all the different, you can separate this in a real para system. These are 2 different tables, but right now I'm just, using just one table for these 2 things, for resources and area. I use a label to denote whether it's area or resource. This table doesn't change much in number of topics, because these are like fundamental things: career, leisure, relationships, finance, health, planning and organization, environment, contribution. These are different areas of my life that I want to focus on. My aim is to like balance everything. These are like the different areas where I want to learn stuff. So sleep is one of the topics that I read a lot about: goal setting, personal finance, skincare, productivity, all the topics that I'm interested in. when I start creating projects and notes, they will have, I'll tag them to like a specific area and they will appear here. So this is, I guess, the summary of the book How to Get Rich by Naval Ravikant. This is a demo that I created. In my real dashboard, I have like, I think I have hundreds and hundreds of tasks. So my system is like, I have a few goals that I want to achieve in a year. Then I split that goals into like separate projects. Then after splitting the goals into project, then I'll split each project into like, projects are things like, it has a deadline, but it's a collection of tasks. For example, this video is a project. Creating this video is a project. I have to script the video, I have to record the video, then I have to record the screencast, I have to edit, I have to add animations. Those are different tasks that comes under a project. Now we have goals. After area or resource, we have goals. These are a few dummy goals. Like, one of my goals is to like publish 30 blog posts on my personal blog. uh, Areas finance, I mean, you can tag it with anything. So this is a link to this area column, is a link to the other, area or sources column. Now this column is a link to the project table, and the notes column is a link to the notes table. You can add a deadline in Notion. You can, once you can just add so many types of columns. They have so many data types like text, number. It could be, I mean, you can select stuff from a drop down list. Multi select, that's good for tagging. Status, it's like Kanban board. You can move your board from like started to progress to done, things like that. Also, you can connect to your Google Drive, Figma. There's so many features. Just use whatever you need. This goal is in progress. That means some of the projects that are related to this goal has already started. Then this goal is not, hasn't started yet. You can select from the drop down list. So priority is medium. So you can like attach priorities to a goal. Goal is more like a overview of things that I want to get done. So next one is projects. So we don't have any projects right now. Let's create one. Okay. This publish the, oh, this is more like a task. Notion task management video. What's the project? It's not started. So this is a system that I use. I actually forgot the name of the system. I'll put it in subtitles because there's a system called, I forgot the name. So you divide your tasks into like 4 quadrants based on the importance and urgency, so that you won't procrastinate on the important. And I mean, some tasks may not be urgent, but they may be the tasks that, move your life forward. So in order to have a good balance, you can separate your tasks into like different quadrants. That's the system that I'm using here for projects, for priority. So it was high, medium, low earlier, like you saw in like goals. My system is never, constant. It's not never done, because when I'm learning something new, I just try to incorporate in the system, and it's grown into this monstrosity. This is the system. This is how I prioritize. So Notion task management video, it's actually very important for me to grow my YouTube channel, but it's not that urgent. There's no, I mean, it's my personal project. So I would say this, or if you can also say, because I'm planning to publish this video today evening, but let's just say this is it, or tomorrow probably. Type, okay, what kind of task is this? What kind of project this is? Like, does this project require like a deep work schedule or like medium focus admin tasks that you can do with like a movie in the background, creative tasks that you have to. I love doing creative tasks, example brainstorming video ideas and scripting need a lot of focus. For that, it's a different category. High focus tasks are mostly like learning something very technical like data science topics, things like that. Making YouTube videos is a creative task for me. Deadline, today's 12th, let's just say. Estimated hours. Okay, this is actually a column that automatically gets filled when the tasks under this project. So this project will have different tasks, and the tasks under this project will get done, or when I add the estimated hours to each task, because it's difficult to like estimate how much time this takes, but I can estimate how much time each task takes. Like for example, it takes around 1 hour for me to script. It takes around 2 hours for me to like do the first cut, remove all the. This is also a progress infographics that gets updated based on the tasks getting done, and this is okay. This project is associated with this code area. Okay, what's the area? Creativity, these are resources. If you look at the symbol, it's different. So mainly I don't tag projects with resources, but I tag projects with areas, and mostly notes that I take from other sources with resources. So this task is basically, where do I used to tag? Not leisure, personal growth and development. I used to tag it under contribution and impact. Frequency. Okay, if it's a repeating project, you can add like a frequency, let's just say weekly, but it doesn't. This is a specific video because it's one time. And this is archive means I don't want to delete anything because I want to track later the things I did. Once I click archive, it will disappear from here. I'm gonna revert that change, but it will be visible in archive. It's not really disappearing. This is not a heavy system. It just has, different like 6 pages. That's it. So the dashboard is basically like filled with views or links to these tables. Now we have tasks. So we don't have any tasks. We can add tasks here, or we can add tasks from project. Let's just add one task. Okay, here script. We can, when do you want to script? I want to script. Okay, yesterday, expected hours, 1 hour, energy level. For each task I assign an energy level to assign a slot to do this thing. I have high energy levels in the morning from around like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's like my peak performance time. Scripting is okay, but I would say here. Scripting goes here. You can add it. You can add all the attributes here. That's how it will get notes. Notes are basically everything that I learn, everything that I think about, whatever book I read, podcast I hear, everything goes here. So this is the notes from a course on Coursera, SQL for data science. You can add tags to notes, you can add projects, goals, you can link this note to any project that you're doing right now. So any goal area, you can also archive notes. It's very simple. Then ideas. This is a place where I capture all my content ideas. Comes to me like when I'm watching something else, or when I'm cooking, or when I'm doing something totally random. I just create an idea here. These are the databases that we have. But opening Notion and taking all this, going through all the different pages, letting them load. If you have a lot of things, a lot of entries, it will take some time to load. It's a hassle. So we can display this in a better way. That's why we have a dashboard. This is the dashboard. This is the link to databases. This is my second brain. I'm not gonna show it right now because I'm not using it a lot these days. It was where I used to capture my notes long time ago. Second brain it in itself is a topic to cover. These are my catch-all areas. So I just remember like a task. So I normally don't add chores to this dashboard. Like things that you do every day, like workout, laundry, doing the dishes. I don't add them here because it would just, I use Google Keep for that. And here I add things like mostly my academic projects that are one time, projects that are very important, but not like basic things. So for content idea, day in my life, it's the content idea. When I think about it, I just add it here. Unless I process this and unless I add more information to it, you can open it like a page here. Information to this, what kind of content it is, when should be the release date, what topic this belongs to, anything. I have to add something to make it disappear from my inbox. That means I have to sit and process this. Till then, so if the topic is empty and the archive is unchecked, if it's, you can, if you are not, it's just an idea, you are not going to act on it, you can archive it. Otherwise, you can, add a topic and tag it to a specific topic, and you can add all these details and it will disappear from this inbox. I'll show you. Like, okay, day in my life, it's a lifestyle, see, disappeared. This is done using filters. Basically, this is a view of our ideas page or ideas database, and I achieve this using filters. These are simple filters. There are advanced filters too. I'll definitely link some really good Notion channels that are dedicated to Notion underneath in the description, because there is a bit of a learning curve with Notion. You can add templates, okay? This is my project template. New YouTube video has a different template because YouTube videos has a different, it needs a script. It has a specific set of things that you have to do. So it's a unique project. So I added a separate template for it. You can create templates in Notion. It's very useful. Okay, the project that we added here, because I added a deadline just today. So if the deadline is in next week, all the projects that have a deadline in this week will appear here usually. Then inbox, project inbox is like, you can add a project to project in inbox. You can, here for a task, let's just say I want to just post something, not something, post something on Insta. That's basically a task. Once I tag a project to it, the deadline of the task will automatically be the project deadline, but you can edit it. Okay, default deadline, you can edit this. I mean, the idea is like a project will have a deadline, but you can do tasks from a project on different days. So due date means if the project's deadline is like July 12th, let's do this task on 11th. See, the state changed because I have set it up in a way that if the date is passed, it will show red. This is done using like simple formulas like you do in Excel, simple code snippets. Then you can tag this task to any area. Days left -1, because I mean, it's the day July 11th is already passed. July 11th was yesterday. So energy levels, gradual decline in energy, that would be, for me, that's like 12 p.m. to like 3 p.m. Then I have from 3 to 6 low energy levels. After 6 is, it's preparing for rest, then wrapping up the day, moving everything that is not done from like from today to tomorrow, things like that. That's how it is done. So since we linked everything to area or resource, we can just find it here. So the area that we chose was contribution and impact. And we can, so resources can come under like different areas. Okay, that's how I have set up some. So I have more resources than areas. Actually, this should be here. Why is it not here? Oh, okay, the source is, I recently changed a bit of things here. That's why it's a little bit undone. I mean, it's always, I always keep adding things here. You can show all. I don't want hidden groups. I just want all of them to show. Okay, just change the date to today. And today we have script. So from here, it's supposed to show like tomorrow. If there's a, it's all different duplicated views with different filters. This is all done using filters and layouts. So this is the board layout. So I can move projects from this. Okay, I'll just add a cover. We can connect to Unsplash and add a related cover. Notion, let's just check if there is a Notion. Can you hear anything? It's raining heavily, so I'm just gonna add a Notion cover. Okay, we can move it to here in progress. Then once we are done with the project, we can move it here. So this is a nice way to not to get overwhelmed, because if I see everything that I have to do in like a whole list, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna procrastinate. It's raining heavily. We are going to wrap this up. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm going to procrastinate a lot. So after implementing this thing, it has helped me a lot. This is how I manage my tasks. So the key is to like break down your goal into projects, then projects into like actionable tasks. Okay. So you need to schedule something. Also, Notion has a calendar now, and you can just show everything, show a specific table. For example, here I use my tasks table. uh, so I just connected it to Notion, so I can easily move. Okay, these are all done. Once they are done, they will disappear from my calendar. So, for example, film video direction, just move it here. It's more easy to manage things and see how much time you have. It's raining like it's it's raining cats and dogs. That's what it is. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't have time to do a complete tutorial here, but let's see. In the future, if you guys are interested, I will definitely do a tutorial, but I'll link all the resources that I used down below. You can recreate this thing from, that resources. That's all for today's video. I hope I can upload this today itself, because I already have the talking part edited and everything. So let's just see, or tomorrow, 13. Yeah, that's all for today's video. Bye. If you like the content, subscribe to my channel. Uh, like, share and comment.